Is Star Trek a prophecy of what is the future? Well, I say yes. Star Trek is a prophecy of how geopolitics is forming. Yeah, Star Trek is the continuation of the prophecies from the saints, the Catholic saints that have been prophetizing the future, globalization. So Star Trek is a continuation of the prophecies from the saints for the continuation of culture. The continuation of culture and the continuation of power. The power that belongs to the powers to be. So Star Trek is a prophecy, at least for me, and I can see it unfold, even though at a snail pace, I can see it, because if you run like a hare, you will be able to see the whole thing. So in the Star Trek prophecy that I have talked to myself, we are in 100 years before the first arrival of the Vulcan people, but before that, 100 years before, they were already investigating the area, and we are on the moment when the Vulcans already are investigating the area. After that, then we will engage in 100 years or 80 years of continuous conflict that will manage to destroy the warlike nature of humans. And I call it the mother of all wars, because it's going to be a global kinetic war that is going to destroy the whole system and bring it down. And that's how we reborn. But that's not going to happen at the moment. We are going to continuously be witnessing a lot of small time conflicts that are gonna be forever, according to our point of view. So 100 years of total conflict, that's what we are seeing. We are seeing continuation and continuation of conflicts, because if the conflicts wanted to be ended, they could easily be finished and just continuous growth. But what we need is, according to the prophecy, is a global world war that will destroy all the fighting nature of humans. All the criminals are gonna be eradicated, and that's when, after that, we will be reborn like the phoenix, like the U tree that is destroyed and reborn. Things are according to size, but they are always the same. We're witnessing the destruction of the economic system and the new shuffling of the cards in order to be the system new reborn, and that's what we have seen since a generation already. So the prophecy for Star Trek, it only shows us that we are gonna engage in years and years of conflict. It's not gonna help much. We are gonna witness in the good points. We are going to witness a boom of economic capabilities, but that only if people start studying and starts positioning themselves in the positions that are for the winning team. We are witnessing also how people can position themselves in a good position if they invest in mining companies, mining stock, because President Trump just a few days ago, he liberated millions of acres of natural areas, natural parks that used to be protected, and now they are open to the vultures, to the mining companies and other sort of peoples to start developing empty lands. So we are seeing how everything is going to start booming with the mineral resources that used to be locked on the continental United States, and that way reducing the need of buying things from abroad. And with the nuclear reactors and new forms of energy creation and energy saving, batteries are also shifting. Battery technology is also moving. So if people wants to invest in batteries, it's a bet. It's something that we don't know if it's gonna fit, because battery processes and technologies are always shifting. So the best thing is better to invest on mining and also on the nuclear capabilities and the nuclear enterprises. And global wars are not going to start happening. The United States is not going to be start being attacked maybe until in 50 years. That's what the prophecy that I'm thinking makes. But with that, better not to talk about it because, yeah. So prophecies mostly show us a cycle of birth and rebirth, death, continuous conflict, continuous struggling, because that's nature. Nature moves in cycles, and we have to understand that we are in a big cycle, and it's best to position ourselves in a cycle that will make us survive. And what will make us survive? Well, for there are many kinds of humans. I think that the surface humans are the people that lives on the surface of the earth, and there are many kinds of humans like in that category. Because I am a working man, I consider myself on the lower echelons of the position. So for me, the best thing is to position myself in a place where I have less economic worries, and that's the most apremiant thought of mine, because many people already have resources, they already have assets from their families and from them having a successful life, and they have different set of rules in their lives. So for me, I am talking about the people with barely nothing, that they are the strongest, because the people that struggle the most is the most strongest people on earth. Pampered rich academians, pampered rich people, bureaucracy, because bureaucracy is like monarchy. They just get their coin and they think they already are better than anybody else. But the fact is that the poorest of the poor are the strongest, are the best humans, and they are the ones with more survival traits. Also, emotional states. A lot of channels are talking about emotional states, how they consider the West have been brought down because elevate its people, and now its people it's in a sort of a stupor, emotional stupor. That's something that exists, and that is something that is easy to correct just by taking away the comfort of the people. Then they will start feeling the pressure and start feeling and start growing towards greatness. That's a little bit of a complex thing, because when Stalin was, I'm not talking about AI, so I'm just talking about things that I remember that I have been reading about during my whole life. So this is a story that I read, that a prisoner sent letters to Stalin or somebody like that. He sent letters, Lenin, maybe to Lenin. It was some of the Bolsheviks. He told them that he knew how to make the Russian people stronger by sending them to Siberian prison camps, and then the prisoner was freed. He was put as the director of the Directorate of Prisons in Siberia. And the Russians, they use that system, the harsh system, the system of tough love, where they kick somebody and that somebody have to stand by himself or just perish on the spot. That's what Russians do, and that's a little bit difficult, but that's something that maybe people in the higher echelons they need in order to wake up and not to fall prey to crazy ideas. What crazy ideas? Well, extremism. Extremist ideas are the scourge of humanity. Liberalism, conservatism, capitalism, communism, all of them are extreme ideas, and the best thing is just to stand in the middle, step outside the bubble of control, and try out to live our life. So returning to the Star Trek prophecy. The Star Trek prophecy, as I said, is a prophecy of growth, but in order to achieve the growth, we need to pass through a period of suffering. sadly. And that period is gonna take us 100 years, and after that, then we will be able to have the what is called the replicators, machines that can replicate anything, even food, by tweaking the atom structures of elements. All that they do is with magnets, you shift the position of the of the atoms in the elements, and then you shift them and move them, and then you can create different materials with the same atoms. So that's a possibility, and that one I read back in the beginning of the 90s with a book called Caballo de Troya, Trojan Horse, and it explained exactly how it was made, and it was on the mainstream 30, 40 years ago. Then pretty sure things have been already accomplished by now. So many things that we see on science fiction television, they can be achieved even theoretically. And if 50 years have passed with the resources, I'm pretty sure that we are able to achieve things. This was sort of a chat about prophecies for the future, but also enter into emotional states and economical states and even vision ideas. And I hope that you got something out of it, understood something, and I hope that it was informative a little bit. I hope that for many good things in the future, and also I hope good things for you. Thank you. Bye.